city in Turkey and the capital of Antalya province. 3. Recognized as the capital of tourism in Turkey and a pivotal part of the Turkish Riviera. 4. Antalya sits on Anatolia's southwest coast, flanked by the Taurus Mountains. With over 2.6 million people in its metropolitan area, it is the largest city in Turkey's Mediterranean region. Situated along the Mediterranean Sea, the city was formerly known as Antalya and was founded in around 200 BC by King Attalus II of Pergamon. Antalya was soon conquered by the Romans. Roman rule saw the city thrive, including the construction of several new monuments, such as Hadrian's Gate, and the flourishing of nearby ancient cities such as Patara, Xanthus and Myra in the Lycia region, Perga, Aspendos and Side in Pamphylia, and Sagalassos, Antioch and Termessos in Pisidia. These cities were already significant centers before Roman influence. Antalya has changed hands several times, including to the Seljuk Empire in 1207 and an expanding Ottoman Empire in 1391. 8. Ottoman rule brought relative peace and stability for the next 500 years. The city was occupied by Italy for 3 years in the aftermath of World War I, but was recaptured by a newly independent Turkey in the Turkish War of Independence. While the city itself only has modest elevation changes, Antalya has high mountains in all directions to its interior. With moisture being trapped, the local climate thus has high winter rainfall, while the interior bay setting result in very hot summers for a coastal city. The city is Turkey's biggest international sea resort on the Turkish Riviera. Large-scale development and governmental funding has made it a prime destination for tourists. Antalya is currently the fourth most visited city in the world, trailing behind only Istanbul, London, and Dubai, attracting more than 16.5 million foreign visitors in 2023. Etymology: the city was founded as Antalya, ancient Greek, Antalya, named after its founder Attalus II, king of Pergamon. This name, still in use in Greek, was later evolved in Turkish as Adalia and then Antalya. Antalya was also the name of a festival at Delphi, and Atalis, Greek. Atalis was the name of an old Greek tribe at Athens. Despite the close similarity, there is no connection with the name Anatolia. History: see also Antalya Province section. History: Hadrian's Gate, built in the honor of the Roman Emperor Hadrian, who visited Antalya in the year 130. Statue of Artemis in the Antalya Museum. Sculpture of the Three Graces in the Antalya Museum. Statue of the Roman Emperor Hadrian in the Antalya Museum. King Attalus II of Pergamon is looked on as founder of the city in about 150 BC. During the Hellenistic period, it was named Antalya or Italia in his honor. The city served as a naval base for Attalus's powerful fleet. Excavations in 2008 in the Dogu Garaji plot uncovered remains dating to the 3rd century BC, suggesting that Antalya was a rebuilding and expansion of an earlier town. Citation needed. Statue of Attalus II in the city. Antalya became part of the Roman Empire in 133 BC when Attalus III, a nephew of Attalus II, bequeathed his kingdom to Rome at his death in 133 BC. The city grew and prospered during the ancient Roman period and was part of the Roman province of Pamphylia Secunda, whose capital was Perga. Christianity started to spread to the region even in the 1st century. Antalya was visited by Paul of Tarsus and Barnabas, as recorded in the Acts of the Apostles. Then they passed through Pisidia and came to Pamphylia. And when they had spoken the word in Perga, they went down to Antalya. And from there they sailed to Antioch. Some of the bishops attributed to the episcopal see of Antalya in Pamphylia may instead have been bishops of Antalya in Lydia, Yanantip. Since Lucian lists them under both sees no longer a residential bishopric, Antalya in Pamphylia is today listed by the Catholic Church as a titular. The 13th century Seljuk mosque at Antalya, now in ruins, had been a Christian Byzantine basilica from the 7th century. Citation needed. The Great Mosque had also been a Christian basilica, and the Kesik Minaret Mosque had been the 5th century Christian church of the Panagia or Virgin and was decorated with finely carved marble. Citation needed. The Archaeological Museum at Antalya houses some sarcophagi and mosaics from nearby Persia and a casket of bones, reputed to be those of Saint Nicholas, the Bishop of Myra, further down the turquoise coast. The area of Antalya was subject to naval attacks by the Arabs of the Abbasid Caliphate. Citation needed. Antalya was a major city in the Byzantine Empire. It was the capital of the Byzantine theme of the Subariots, which occupied the southern coasts of Anatolia. According to the research of Speros Brionis, it was the major naval station on the southern Anatolian coast, and the most convenient harbor between the Aegean Sea and Cyprus and points further east. Besides the local merchants, one could expect to see Armenians, Saracens, Jews, and Italians. At the time of the accession of John II Komnenos in 1118, Antalya was an isolated outpost surrounded by Turkish phalanx. Accessible only by sea, 21, but his capture of Sozopolis in 1120 reopened land communication with the city once more. Following the sack of Constantinople by the Crusaders in 1204, Nikitas Choniates records that Antalya was the personal fiefdom of a certain Aldobrandus, an Italian by birth who was strictly raised according to Roman tradition. When Kekusra, Sultan of the Seljuk Turks, attempted to capture the city in 1206, Aldobrandus called Cyprus for help and received 200 infantry from the Latins. The attackers were defeated after a siege of less than 16 days. 22. Kekusra would take Antalya the following year and build its first mosque. 23. 24. Christians rebelled and captured Antalya with aid of Walter of Montbéliard in 1212. Briefly restored Byzantine rule in Antalya was ended by Kk-Asai in 1216. The city and the surrounding region were conquered by the Seljuk Turks in the early 13th century. Antalya was the capital of the Turkish Beylik of Tekke, 1321 to 1423, until its conquest by the Ottomans, except for a period of Cypriot rule between 1361 and 1373. The Arab traveler Ibn Battuta, who visited the city in 1335 to 1340, noted, 26, from Alanya I went to Antalya, Adalia, a most beautiful city. It covers an immense area, and though of vast bulk is one of the most attractive towns to be seen anywhere, besides being exceedingly populous and well laid out. Each section of the inhabitants lives in a separate quarter. The Christian merchants live in a quarter of the town known as the Mina, the port, and are surrounded by a wall, the gates of which are shut upon them from without at night and during the Friday service. The Greeks, who were its former inhabitants, live by themselves in another quarter, the Jews in another, and the king and his court and Mamluks in another, each of these quarters being walled off likewise. The rest of the Muslims live in the main city. Round the whole town and all the quarters mentioned there is another great wall. The town, in the second half of the 17th century, Evliya Çelebi wrote of a city of narrow streets containing 3,000 houses in 20 Turkish and 4 Greek neighborhoods. Citation needed. The town had grown beyond The city walls and the port was reported to hold up to 200 boats. Citation needed, in the 19th century. In common with most of Anatolia, its sovereign was a dir bey, landlord or landowner. The family of Teko Lu, domiciled near Perj, had been reduced to submission in 1812 by Mahmud II, but continued to be a rival power to the Ottoman governor until the early 20th century, surviving by many years the fall of the other great beys of Anatolia. The records of the Levant, Turkey, Company, which maintained an agency in Antalya until 1825, documented the local dir beys in the early 20th century. Antalya had 2 factories spinning and weaving cotton. As of 1920, the factories had 15,000 spindles and over 200 looms. A German-owned mill baled cotton. There were gin mills. 28. In the 20th century, the population of Antalya increased as Muslim refugees from the Caucasus and the Balkans moved into Anatolia. The economy was centered on its port that served the inland areas, particularly Konya. Antalya, then Adalia, was picturesque rather than modern. The chief attraction for visitors was the city wall, and outside a promenade, a portion of which survives. The government offices and the houses of the higher classes were outside the walls. The Ottoman houses in Kalishi as of 1920. Antalya was reported as having a population of approximately 30,000. The harbor was described as small and unsafe for vessels to visit in the winter. Antalya was exporting wheat, flour, sesame seeds, livestock, timber and charcoal. The latter two were often exported to Egypt and other goods to Italy or other Greek islands, who received mainly flour. In 1920, the city had 7 flour mills. Wheat was imported, and then processed in town before exportation. Antalya imported manufactured items, mainly from the United Kingdom. 29. The city had a Greek minority that made up 1/3 of the population until the population exchanged. Antalya also had a tiny Armenian population which had a church on the street of Hamam Sikmazi, named Hovhannes Sirp Garabed, which was later on demolished. Antalya also had a Jewish community which had a tiny synagogue in the neighborhood of Balbi and a Talmud Torah. The synagogue was closed in 1948 and its exact location is not known. And the synagogue might not exist anymore. The Jewish community had 2 graveyards and one was located across Donausiler Karsisi, and was demolished when the area was open to construction. But one marble tombstone belonging to a Jew named Raphael Moshe was transferred to the Antalya Museum where it can be seen in the museum garden. The city was occupied by Italy for 3 years, 1919 to 22, in the aftermath of World War I, but was recaptured by a newly independent Turkey in the Turkish War of Independence. Citation needed. Large-scale development beginning in the 1970s transformed Antalya from a pastoral town into one of Turkey's largest metropolitan areas. Citation needed. Much of this has been due to tourism, which expanded in the 21st century. In the 1987 singing diva Dalida held her last concert in Antalya. Antalya was the host city for the 2015 G20 Summit and the Expo 2016. 5 countries have their consular missions in Antalya including Belgium, Germany, Russia, Serbia and the United Kingdom. 30. Geography. Climate. Antalya has a hot summer Mediterranean climate, Köppen. CSA. It experiences hot, dry summers and mild, rainy winters. While rainy spells are common and often heavy in winter, Antalya is very sunny, with nearly 3,000 hours of sunlight per year. Frost does occasionally occur at night almost every winter, but snow is a very rare phenomenon, with the last significant snowfall occurring on the 25th of January 2022. Economy. See also. Tourism in Antalya. Agricultural production includes citrus fruits, cotton, cut flowers, olives, olive oil and bananas. Antalya Metropolitan Municipality's covered wholesale food market complex meets 65% of the fresh fruit and vegetable demand of the province. Since 2000, shipyards have been opened in Antalya Free Zone, specialized in building pleasure yachts. Some of these yards have advanced in composites boat building technology. Corendon Airlines and Sun Express are headquartered in Antalya. Antalya is one of the Mediterranean's leading tourism destinations, the city being home to an array of famous attractions. In 2012, it was reported it attracted 30% of foreign tourists visiting Turkey. In 2022, Antalya received 13.4 million foreign tourists by air. Cityscape. Despite having architectural heritage dating back up to Hellenistic times, most historical architecture in Antalya date to the medieval Seljuk period, with a number of mosques, madrasas, masjids, caravanserais, Turkish baths and tombs, giving the city a Turkish Islamic character. Historical architecture is concentrated in the walled city, Kalishi. Ancient structures are not well preserved in the rest of the city of Antalya, as the modern city was built on the ancient city. Kalishi, with its narrow cobbled streets of historic Ottoman-era houses, is the old center of Antalya. With its hotels, bars, clubs, restaurants, and shopping, it has been restored to retain much of its historical character. It is surrounded by two walls in the shape of a horse nail, one of which is along the seafront, built in a continuous process from Hellenistic to Ottoman times. The historical harbor is located in this part of the city. Narrow streets extend from the harbor and branch off into the old city, surrounded by wooden historical houses. 50 Cumhuriyet Square. The main square of the city, and a spot very popular for tourists and locals, is surrounded by shopping and business centers and public buildings. There are sites with traces of Hellenistic, Roman, Byzantine, and Seljuk architecture and cultures. There are also examples of the local Greek architecture in the city, with 5 Greek Orthodox churches in the Old City. A panoramic view from Karaliolu Park with historic Hitterlik Tower. The walled city is surrounded by a large metropolitan area, with high rates of immigration since the 1970s. This area contains large Gecekondu neighborhoods that are not well integrated into the fabric of the city and suffer from poor economic conditions and insufficient education. Gecekondu areas are concentrated in the Kepez district, where an estimated 70% of the houses were Gecekondus in 2008. 55 in 2011. It was estimated that there were 50-60,000 Gecekondus in Antalya, housing around 250,000 people. 56. Antalya has beaches including Konyaaltı, Lara and Karpuzkulduran. Beydaglari and Saklakent are used for winter sports. Historic sites in the city center. The city is popular for its waterfalls. Ancient monuments include the city walls, Hitterlik Tower, Hadrian's Gate, also known as Triple Gate, and the Clock Tower. Hadrian's Gate, constructed in the 2nd century by the Romans in honor of the Emperor Hadrian. Iskele Mosque, a 19th century mosque near the marina. Karate Medrese. A medrese, Islamic theological seminary, built in 1250 by Emir Selaluddin Karate. Kesik Minaret, broken minaret, mosque. Once a Roman temple, then converted to a Byzantine Panayya church and finally into a mosque. Tekeli Mehmet Pasha Mosque, an 18th century mosque built in honor of Tekeli Mehmet Pasha. Yat Limani. The harbor dating to Roman era. Yivli Minaret, fluted minaret, mosque, built by the Seljuks and decorated with dark blue and turquoise tiles. This minaret eventually became the symbol of the city. Murat Pasha Mosque, a historic Ottoman mosque located in the city center. Aya Yorgi Church, St. George Church. A historic church built by the Greeks of Antalya which is currently used as a museum housing exhibitions of historical artifacts. St. Alypius Church. A tiny historic Greek Orthodox church which is still currently a functioning Orthodox church. Sultan Aladdin Mosque. A historic building built as a Greek Orthodox church in 1834 and converted into a mosque in the 1950s and currently used as a mosque. Ahi Yusuf Mosque. A historic mosque built in the year of 1249 and is possibly one of the oldest mosques in Antalya or even the oldest. Ahi Kizi Masjid, historic masjid located in the old town. Karamola Masjid. Tiny historic masjid built in the 14th century. Balabi Mosque, a historic mosque built by the Vizier Bali Pasha. Maselim Mosque, a small historic mosque built by Haja Osmanolu Mehmed Aga in 1796. Antalya Synagogue, a historic synagogue used as house currently in the Balbi neighborhood between Kavakli Masjid and the Balbi Kesik Minaret Mosque. Mevla Vahane, Dervish Lodge Museum. A former Dervish Lodge H. Main sites Mark Antalya Shopping Center, Antalya Aquarium, Akdeniz Kent Parki, Antalya Aquarium, Arabsa Bridge, Ataturk Culture Park, formerly named after Hasan Subasi, 57, Dudin Waterfalls, heart of Antalya Kara Aliolu Park, Konyaaltı Beach, Tunaktepe, green areas. Recreation places. Antalya is the most popular summer tourism destination in Turkey. Antalya Beach. There are urban parks and protected natural areas located outside the cities, allowing the people to have fun, rest and get closer to nature. Some of them are green areas around lake, pond and dam lakes, and some are highland and forest areas. The prime urban green areas include Antalya City Forest, Ataturk Park, Kepez City Forest. The largest amusement park in Antalya is the Aktur Park. Other modern recreational areas include 3 aqua parks in the city, Konyaaltı, Lara Beaches, Beach Park especially for summer holidays, while Saklikent also has facilities for skiing in the winter months. The preserved nature areas include Gulluk Mountain National Park in Antalya Korkuteli Highway, Mount Olympus National Park in Kemer and Dudin and Kursunlu Waterfalls. Other protected areas include the Damladas and the Karain Cave and the Gover Cliff. It offers picnic and recreation facilities in various parts of the city. Picnic areas. Rafting facilities in Koprulu Canyon in Manavgat. The part of Korkuteli Antalya border in western part of Antalya is covered with forests. In these areas, picnic areas, playground, restaurant and similar facilities are provided. There are lake and forest views on the promenade at Fezlikin Plateau to the west of the city center where visitors can also enjoy nature sports and nature walks. The oil wrestling competition festival organized in summer, what accompanied with concerts. The pond in Joyran town, located to the west of city, is very suitable for picnic and fishing. In addition to the open-air recreation areas, the number of shopping centers, which have increased rapidly in recent years, can also be classified as a rest area with the facilities they offer. The shopping centers in the city are gathered in the center. Among the leading shopping centers in the city are Antalya 5M Migros, Antalya Kippa, Terra City, Depot, Agora, and Mall of Antalya. Government Muhyiddin Bocek. Current Mayor of Metropolitan Municipality and old building of Ataturk's House Museum, Antalya. The mayor of the Antalya Metropolitan Municipality is Muhyiddin Bocek of the CHP, in office since 2019. For general elections, Antalya elects 18 members of parliament to the Turkish Grand National Assembly. Elections. Antalya has traditionally been seen as a stronghold for the Kemalist center-left party Republican People's Party, CHP. Being the capital of the fifth most populous province in Turkey, Antalya is politically strategic and has been a target for the governing right-wing Justice and Development Party, AKP. The AKP unexpectedly won control of the Antalya Metropolitan Municipality in the 2004 local election. The AKP won a plurality in Antalya in the 2007 general election, symbolizing the city's political transformation from a CHP stronghold to a CHP-AKP marginal battleground in the 21st century. The loss of Antalya was a major political setback for the CHP, not only because of its significance as a center for tourism, but also because the CHP's former leader Deniz Baykal is a member of parliament for the province. The province is divided into 19 districts. The CHP regained control of the metropolitan municipality in the 2009 local elections, though the AKP won a plurality in the 2011 general election. The Nationalist Movement Party, MHP, also have a strong political base in Antalya, winning approximately between 15 and 25% of the vote in elections since 2007. The city voted in favor of the AKP government's proposed constitutional reforms in the 2007 referendum, but voted against the reforms proposed in 2010. In the 2014 local elections, Antalya once again voted for the AKP, with the MHP taking support away from the CHP by winning a record 24.3% of the vote. The CHP subsequently accused the AKP of systematic electoral fraud. And the presence of government minister Mevlut Cavusoglu at one of the vote-counting centers drew strong condemnation. 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, in the 2014 presidential election. The CHP and MHP's joint candidate Ekmeleddin İhsanoğlu won 53.08% of the vote. The AKP's candidate Recep Tayyip Erdoğan won 41.63% of the vote. And the HDP Democratic Socialist candidate Selahattin Demirtas won 5.30% of the vote. Antalya was a hotspot for the 2013-14 anti-government protests against the AKP. 63, the secular main opposition. CHP regained control of the metropolitan municipality in the 2019 local elections. Sports Antalya Stadium. The football club of Antalya, Antalyaspor, plays in the Super League. The team's home venue is Antalya Stadium, with a capacity of 33,000, which was opened in 2015. 64. Another football venue in the city is Antalya Ataturk Stadi. The city hosts a number of international sports competitions due to its longer-lasting warm weather condition. Since 2006, one of the 4 stages of Archery World Cup events are held at the Antalya Centennial Archery Field. It also hosted European Weightlifting Championship in 2012, European Beach Volleyball Championship in 2003, European Triathlon Championship in 2013 and World Kickboxing Championships in 2013. Since 2010, an international multi-day trail running ultramarathon, called Lycian Way Ultramarathon, is held on the historical Lycian Way. The event runs eastward on a route of around 220 to 240 kilometers, 140 to 150 miles, from Oladines in Fithai district of Mugla province to Antalya in 6 days. 66. Education Agdenas University enrolls over 60,000 students and 4,000 academic and administrative staff. 67. Culture cuisine scene around Kalishi. The old city center, a view of Antalya's coastline. The Roman Theatre of Aspendos is one of the best preserved Roman theaters in the world. Antalya's signature cuisine includes piyaz, made with tahini, garlic, walnuts, and boiled beans, sis koft, spicy meatball which is cooked around a stick, spicy hibes with mixed cumin and tahini, tandoor kebab, domates savesi, shakshuka, and various cold Mediterranean dishes with olive oil. One local speciality is termes, boiled seeds of the lupin, eaten as a snack. Grida, also known as Lagos or Mediterranean white grouper, is a fish common in local dishes. Citation needed. Festivals and events. Antalya Golden Orange Film Festival. National Film Festival usually held in September-October. 68, 69, 70. Kalishi Old Town Festival, organized by Muratpesa Municipality, held in October. Miss Aura International in the venue of Aura Clemmer Club. 71. Sandland, Sand Art Festival at Lara Beach Museum's Antalya Ethnographic Museum, located in Kalishi, housing artifacts of Antalya's culture, regional dress, and architectural examples. Antalya Museum. Antalya Toy Museum. The Antalya Metropolitan Municipality opened the exhibition facility in 2011. 72. Ataturk's House Museum Bir Zamanlar Antalya Muzizi, located in Dokuma Park, Kepez, serving artifacts and documents about contemporary urban history of Antalya. Kalishi Museum. 73, opened in 2007 by the Mediterranean Civilizations Research Center, Akdeniz Medenyeleri Araştırma Merkezi. 74, Kepez Araba Muzizi, located in Dokuma Park, serving historical vehicles in contemporary history. Kepez Open Air Museum, serving scale models of various structures of Turkey. The models were located in Minisati Park in Konyaaltı before the demolition of park in late 2010s and moving to current location in Dokuma Park. Mevlevihane Museum. Former Dervish Lodge with Sufi and Islamic cultural artifacts. Suna and Inin Kirak Kalishi Museum, an ethnographic museum run by the Suna and Inin Kirak Foundation. Transportation. Antalya Nostalgic Trams. The main transportation to the city is by air and land. Sea routes are still under development. In 2007, the airport added a new terminal. The city has a main port at the south of the Konyaaltı. Buses. There is a network of look-alike dolmuses that are privately owned and operated minibuses, under municipal government control. Antalya Ulusim, a municipally owned corporation, runs the public bus system. The corporation owns Antobus and Antray. Antobus was started in September 2010. In 2010, the city planned to increase from 40 to 140 more buses. 75. Payment for public transportation was made in cash until the launch of a public transportation card, AntCard, in late 2007. The card system met with criticism and was subsequently cancelled in June 2009, returning to a cash system. Halcard has been used for the transportation system since the summer of 2010. Halcard is managed by Kent Smart City Technologies under the control of Antalya Metropolitan Municipal Government. Passengers can use identified cards to take buses or trams. 76. GHT Rail main article. Antalya Trams, the Antray light rail transportation lines of tram system. A tram system, opened in 1999, runs from Antalya Museum and the Sheraton Voyager and Falaise hotels. Along the main boulevard through the city center at Kalekapisi, Hadrian's Gate, Karaaliolu Park, and ending at Talia Oteli. Trams depart on the hour-and-a-half hour from the terminal, east and west, and reach Kalekapisi between 10 and 15 minutes later. In December 2009, an 11.1 kilometers (6.9 miles) light rail line Antray was opened from one of the main city public bus hubs northwest to beyond suburban areas and the zoo. An extension to airport, Aksu and Expo 2016 site was completed in 2016. Major routes. Antalya is the southern terminus of European Route E87, which connects to Korkuteli, Denizli, Izmir, Çanakkale, Edirne in Turkey, along with Varna in Bulgaria, Constanța in Romania and Odessa in Ukraine. Antalya is also the terminus of Turkish Highway D650, which connects Burdur, Afyon, Kütahya, and Sakarya. D400 connects with D650 in Antalya, while D650 alternative D685 connects to Isparta and Provincial Road 0750 connects to Kumluca by Altynjaka. An alternative to D400, 77, Airport. Antalya Airport has 2 international terminals and 1 domestic terminal. In 2020, its number of passengers on international flights surpassed the total number at Istanbul Airport and Sabiha Gökçen International Airport for the first time, officially earning the title of the capital of Turkish tourism. Kepez, like the rest of Greater Antalya, was wrested between the Seljuk Turks and the Byzantines during the 11th and 12th centuries. After 1216, Kepez was incorporated into the Seljuk realm. After the disintegration of the Seljuks, the area fell under the control of the Turkmen Beylik of Tekke. In 1389, the city was captured by the Ottoman Empire. After the defeat of the Ottomans in the Battle of Ankara in 1402, Kepez was annexed by the Karamanids, another Turkmen principality, and stayed within their control until 1415. During this brief period, a Turkmen tribe named Varsik was settled around Kepez. 6. After 1415, Antalya became an Ottoman territory. During the Republican era, the scattered population around Kepez increased. After Antalya was declared as the metropolitan center, the Kepez municipality was incorporated into Greater Antalya in 1993 and the corresponding district governorate was established in 2008. Archaeology. The ancient city of Lirbaton Kome, Ancient Greek, Lirbaton Kome, located in the Kepez district on a hill in Varsik, 7, was discovered in 1910 by European archaeologists. 8. The city was an important olive oil production center in the region. 9. And had close ties to Persia. 10. The ancient city became a settlement during the Hellenistic era, but the area grew during the era of Roman Emperor Domitian in the 1st century. 11. Kepez. Today, Antalya bus terminal and a cement factory as well as a hydroelectric plant are in Kepez. Although not a seaside district, Kepez maintains a number of tourist attractions like Duden waterfalls and the Zoo of Antalya. Scenic areas, such as Kepezustu, are also visited often. Konyaaltı is a municipality and district of Antalya Province, Turkey. 2. Its area is 546 square kilometers. 3. And its population is 204,795. 2022. 1. The name Konyaaltı, pronounced Konya, at, originates from the expression of Koy Alti, which in the Turkish language means the bay under the cliffs. Citation needed. The district is situated beneath the cliffs of Antalya and extends miles toward the west towards the mountains, with various kinds of beaches including sand and shingle. The water is a little cooler compared to other beaches in Antalya because of an underground creek flowing to the sea. There are modern underground facilities for aesthetic reasons. Clarification needed. Transport is easy by means of buses. Destinations are reachable by foot as well but might be time-consuming. The area was started to be developed in the 80s and wasn't historically a part of Antalya's city center. The area originally was a rural, pastoral area, and neighborhoods that are currently a part of it were originally villages such as Arapsuyu or Unkali. Until the 80s, most of the area was mainly empty and villages had agricultural areas where they grew crops and grazed sheep. There are also many streams in the area which dried up when the area was urbanized. The area also has an ancient city named Albia that was demolished to make way for a gigantic shopping mall named Migros. Muratpaşa is a central district in Antalya and an important tourism center, attracting almost half of the tourists visiting Turkey. With a mild climate, rich cultural history and stunning coastline, Muratpaşa and surrounding area Antalya is home to more than 500,000 residents. In the summer the population doubles. Its historical old town Kalishi, business, shopping and entertainment centers, 715 parks, hospitals, schools and other public institutions and organizations indeed make Muratpaşa the heart of Antalya. Muratpaşa municipality prioritizes equity in its work. The municipality formed their circular economy model on the basis of ecological sensitivity and has built a model that creates equity for both the municipality and the residents of the district with its waste collection and recycling system. By doing so, they have set an example for the whole of Turkey. Sustainability focus. Zero waste. Turkish municipality of Muratpaşa, Turkey, lives by the award-winning motto, "Don't throw, save, win." Which is to say Muratpaşa has quite the track record in zero waste initiatives. The new ICLEI member regularly organizes trainings on environment and recycling in schools. Raising of generations with high environmental awareness under the project, the Environmentally Friendly Neighbor Card project initiated in April 2016. The project is Turkey's first and only award-winning recycling project, which also forms the basis of the Zero Waste project carried out by the Ministry of Environment and Urbanization. Within the scope of the project, packaging waste, electronic waste and vegetable waste oils are collected from households on a specified day and time. In return, residents receive credits for their waste contributions, loaded onto cards, which can be used in places with bank POS devices, online shopping or in cash. Muratpaşa municipality regularly organizes trainings on environment and recycling in schools located within the boundaries of the district. It is aimed to contribute to the raising of generations with high environmental awareness. along with school trainings for environmental awareness. Murat Pesa organizes the Environment Festival each year, inviting all stakeholders and citizens together to participate in workshops, events, and concerts surrounding environmental initiatives. As of 2022, Murat Pesa Municipality has started working to create a sustainable energy and climate action plan within the scope of combating global climate change. An action plan is in the works which will contribute to adaptation to climate change on a local scale, and outline plans to develop and implement solution proposals to determine risk and vulnerability analyses. Murat Pesa Municipality also leads many other environmental actions. For example, the municipality recently led a climate change workshop titled Plus zero point 0.5 The Future of the Mediterranean, carried out a seabed cleaning in the historical Kalishi Marina, and has created the Love Mill project that converts solar energy into electricity in municipal parks, with the theme of protecting the environment. Local communities take action. The Love Mill project received the title of Partner Organization within the scope of the European Local Democracy Week events attended by more than 200 municipalities from 15 countries. The Need to Know's Murat Pesa municipality became the first zero waste certified district of Antalya within the scope of the Zero Waste Project. In the period from April 2016 to the end of 2021, district residents earned 666 liras collectively with the environmentally friendly neighbor card. In the same period, the city collected 18,194,986 kilograms of qualified waste from house to house. The Zero Waste Project ensured the lossless recycling of qualified waste, specifically protecting 774,000 meters squared of forest, saving 64,278, 434 liters of water, and reducing carbon emissions by 569, 309 kilograms. In 2018, electrical and electronic wastes were included in the environmentally friendly neighbor card project, giving credits to residents who recycled e-waste. E-waste poses serious harm and toxicity to the environment and human health. In 2021, Murat Pesa municipality collected 76 tons of e-waste. Subsequently, vegetable waste oils were also included in the Zero Waste Project in 2019, along with 631 liters of vegetable waste oil collected under the environmentally friendly neighbor card. Textile wastes were also included in the project in November 2020. Within 2 months, 16,661 kilograms of textile waste were collected. The beaches in the Murat Pesa district are incredibly diverse. In the Lara area, the beaches are rocky and scenic, but access can be difficult. It's often possible to reach the main platform via a staircase carved into the cliff, and access the sea via iron stairs attached to small piers. The waters here are remarkably clear and magical. There are also a few private beaches on the rock, equipped with sun loungers, parasols, and small bars where refreshing drinks can be ordered. These beaches belong to hotels or pensions and can be enjoyed for an additional fee. In the eastern part of the district, some of the best sandy beaches on the coast, Lara Beach, are located. They're recognized for their cleanliness by the Blue Flag Award. A promenade stretches the length of the beach, lined with restaurants, cafes, walking paths, and relaxation zones. Parks. Some of the most renowned parks are Karaaliolu Park and Falaise Park. Karaaliolu Park is adjacent to the Old Town and is also home to the Russian Embassy in Antalya. Situated on a cliff, it offers a wonderful sea view. It's designated for strolls with children, with numerous playgrounds, outdoor gym equipment, and nearby cafes and restaurants. Two pathways, one for bicycles and one for pedestrians, lead all the way to the Dudin waterfall. Relatively recently, the city authorities landscaped another park called Dudin Park. Apart from a fantastic area for skateboarding and parkour, Dudin Park also features numerous new playgrounds, restaurants, cafes, pavilions, and benches, all the amenities needed for children and parents to enjoy a pleasant outdoor experience. Infrastructure quality. Shopping enthusiasts have undoubtedly heard about the enormous shopping center Terra City. Terra City presents virtually every popular clothing and footwear brand, many of which are absent from other Antalya's shopping centers. Another significant shopping center, situated in the Muratpesa district, is the Mark Antalya. It was built right at the city center, within walking distance of Kalishi. This district is one of the business centers of the city, housing various offices, language schools, law offices, dental clinics, notary offices, translation centers, driving schools, and more. Muratpesa also houses the Antalya City Airport. On the edge of the district, towards the airport, some of the largest shopping centers have been erected, such as Mall of Antalya, Agora, Depot Outlet, and the furniture giant, IKEA. On the eve of New Year in the Muratpesa municipality, performances in Russian are usually held, featuring actors from the private Moscow International School. A branch of it is located in the Guzaloba neighborhood. The talented students prepare concerts and performances for various occasions and then perform on city stages. In the Moscow International School, Russian-speaking children from 1st to 11th grade study all subjects in their native language, and later many of them proceed to Turkish or Russian universities. Real estate. Lara is one of the most prestigious and expensive districts where the first row of houses often offers good views of the sea and mountains. Real estate in the very center of Antalya is not as prestigious and popular as real estate in the coastal regions of Konyaaltı and Lara. This has to do with the fact that the center is occupied by older houses, which are often squeezed close together. They lack free space for a pool, parking, or common use areas, particularly necessary for families with children. On the other hand, property in these regions is cheaper and more affordable. Akdeniz Universities Hospital, Antalya's Archaeological Museum, stadium and sports complex with free sporting clubs and sections, Antalya Devlet Arastirmmahastanesi State Hospital and Research Center, numerous top-notch state and private schools, Russian school, nurseries, music schools and art schools. All these also make this district convenient and prestigious for living. That's why many of our compatriots live in this region, supporting and helping each other. Their children grow up alongside Turkish children, once again validating the famous Turkish people's tolerance.